Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. John Harcar here, your host. I'm here today with Eddie Ruettiger, and what we're going to talk about is don't buy a property, house hack your way to ownership. Guys, here at Investor Fuel, we help real estate professionals, investors, service providers 2 to 5x their business by providing resources and tools to help develop the business you want to develop and live that life that you want to live. Eddie, welcome to our show.
Thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
Yeah, I'm super excited to talk about the house hacking thing. I've heard a lot about it. I think, in our pre-talk, we kind of, said how we wish that's how you would have started. But before we get into all that, tell our audience about yourself, right? How did you get here? Where are you from, etc.?
Well, I am the designated managing broker of Exit Real Estate Specialists located in Joliet, Illinois. We serve most Joliet, Plainfield, Shorewood, so the southwest corner of Chicago, if anybody knows where they're at. I got here because of my mom and my great aunt. I was 23 years old, still living at home. I had a full-time DJ business. And
cool.
Great job when you're 20.
What kind of music did you spin?
I spun a lot of progressive, a lot of like dance and mashups. I did just about everything. We did bars and stuff. We also did a lot of corporate events and weddings. Okay. So, so it was a lot of top 40 and mixed, mashed, all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
So it was great, but I was bored.
Bored? Being a DJ?
Yeah. You do your set on Saturday night, all right? You do your set on maybe a bar on Thursday night, maybe something on Friday. And then I had nothing to do Monday through Friday.
Right, I can see that.
I'm watching reruns of 90210, on, I don't know, it was the Sunburst channel or something. I can't even remember. And my mom had just got remarried, and they were selling her townhouse, and we were moving over with my new stepdad. And we turned around, and my great aunt has always had a real estate license. My great aunt, out of nowhere, shows up to show the house. And, we come from a very workaholic, blue-collared family. Mm-hmm. So my aunt's like, why are you home? Why are you not at work? Because you're either at work or you're at school, one of the two. There was no exceptions.
Right.
And I'm like, Aunt Donna, my clients are taken care of. I've got nothing to do. And she starts to finger wag again. You need to get into real estate. You're a good people person. And I'm like,
oh, okay.
And I started looking into it, and it dealt with law. It dealt with marketing. It dealt with people. It dealt with all these concepts and all these things that really excited me. Mm-hmm. So sure enough, I went to take my test, got in the class, took all my classes. My class date to take the test to get out of class was 9/11.
Oh.
We go to class and everybody's freaking out. The second tower had already been hit. I vividly remember. Now, keep in mind, I'm 20.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
At this point.
Okay.
And everybody is in their 30s with kids and all of this stuff. So they're all sitting there going, I got to go get my kids from school. They're panicking. Some guy even said, no, this is an all-out attack on us. There's missiles that's been launched. They just haven't disclosed. Yeah, it was that kind of warning.
Yeah, that sounds a little doomsday-ish.
The teacher was amazing. She goes, everyone stop. We have a snow day. You're all expected to be back here in 2 days. No, unless I call you. So we came back 2 days later. Everything calmed down. We had a better idea. Took the test, turned around, took my boards, and my actual start date for the association is Veterans Day. So my anniversary of being a Realtor is Veterans Day.
That's interesting. So you had a family member who you knew was in real estate, but you haven't seen forever, all of a sudden shows out of the blue, and then now you're taking a test.
Yeah, seriously.
That's awesome.
So, I mean, she's the one that pushed me in, and my mom supported me. And then within a year, I bought my own hot place.
Oh, awesome.
So, I mean, so when I bought my place, I needed a bed and a garage because I was still DJing. Yeah, I was doing real estate Monday through Friday, all right? And then I'd show maybe a Saturday morning, mostly on Sundays. Most people didn't want to see a house on Saturday because they had family and kids and stuff going on. I would go do my event, come home, sleep 4 hours, get up, and go show at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Hey, you got to do what you have to do sometimes, right?
And that was just it. And then, I just slowly started developing, my database and my clientele and my reputation just of being honest, straightforward, looking to protect my client's interests. That's always been my motto. All right. My belief is that I don't care what house they buy, as long as they buy something that's happy, that makes them happy, fits their needs, is not going to put them in a financial burden. Mm-hmm. And then last but not least, that they buy it through me because that's how I get paid.
That's how you make a living.
That's how I make a living. So, I mean, I always told my clients, my job is to be your negotiator. All right. That's really why you hire a realtor.
Right.
Is you're not hiring them to find a house. We can find them all here. You can find them all there. You're hiring a professional negotiator.
Yep.
All right. And with that being said, I always said, look at Michael Jordan, greatest basketball player of all time. He still had an agent that negotiated his contracts with Nike, with the Bulls, with everybody.
Yeah. And smart man stays in his lane.
That's what you're doing. And that's what you hire me for. So I got into it. Did great. My first little place ended up becoming my rental when I got married to my current wife. And, it's been awesome for us. It's been great. The trick I wish I would have done is the house hack that we're going to talk about in a bit.
Perfect. Okay. So how long were you still juggling the DJ and the real estate thing?
I was juggling DJing and real estate for a couple years. And then when the Great Recession hit, believe it or not, the DJ business went down. Because I was a top-end, high-end disc jockey. We were charging at the time anywhere from $1,200 to $1,800 for an event. And we had all these people that got laid off, and a bunch of people were coming in. Well, I'll do it for $100 an hour. So for $500. So I had built my real estate reputation that I was the expert. So those phone calls started growing and coming in. Perfect. And then I slowly got more involved with the real estate. I'm actually the past president of my local association. Realtor of the Year for my local association, and I was a director at the state level.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Wow,
Awesome.
congratulations.
Yeah.
So you took real estate and ran. I mean,
I
you
did.
you found a lane that worked for you and you ran. Congratulations.
I did.
That's awesome. And I like the way you talk about, how it's kind of putting that seller first, right? And getting them to where they need to be, because that's a lot of things that maybe are missing in some people's repertoire.
Yeah.
So now, are you just doing traditional real estate? Are you buying and flipping houses? Are you holding rentals? What does that type of you or your business look like?
I am just holding rentals right now. I'm holding just one. There would have been more, but we talked before air. I got really sick about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And I was paralyzed for about 2 weeks with Guillain-Barré syndrome. Doctors were amazing. We went into Chicago and to Loyola, and they got me back. I'm walking, running, riding, doing 10-mile bike rides with an
God bless
8-year-old
you.
now. I mean, so it was amazing. So that kind of put some things on the back burner when it came to investing. But we do have one unit that I am just the investor. I don't manage. And I recommend when you start getting into it that, you may need to manage your first or your second. But as soon as you can do it, I recommend getting a property manager. You don't get the midnight phone calls because the water heater went out and it's leaking in the basement. You don't have to deal with, my garbage disposal went out, my refrigerator went out. That's the property manager's job.
Mm-hmm.
Your job as an investor, you write the checks and you collect the checks.
Correct.
Now, you got to get the right property manager because you want to make sure you get one that's going to basically run it as if it was their own property.
Right. And that was going to be a question I was going to ask. How do you pick or what suggestions do you tell people, hey, if you're looking at a property manager, make sure you ask this, this, and this?
So the 3 questions I want to know is, are they going to nickel and dime me? Okay. How do they do their inspections and how often are they inspecting the property? Mm-hmm. Okay. And of course, what their costs are.
Okay.
All right. So I need to figure that out really quick. The first thing is the nickel and diming. Mm. All right. I don't want someone that's going to come in and go, well, the blinds are broken and the lever on the blind was broken. We got to buy all new blinds for the place. That's, $1,000.
Yeah.
Well, no.
It's not necessary.
It's not a necessary part of the property. Yeah. The tenant can provide their own curtains.
Yep.
Okay. And we're seeing a big trend in our market, like the refrigerator. Okay, like I had a refrigerator that just went out, and I did supply it. But there's a big trend in our market where a lot of landlords are not providing appliances anymore. So
or at least not refrigerators. I mean, maybe the stove, but not refrigerators.
Yeah, and not washer and dryers. They may
or washer dryers.
They may have the hookups, but yeah, I do have washer and dryer, and I have a good tenant there. So we kept and went with another unit, and mainly because I do have a scratch and dent location that's in our town, and I can get phenomenal deals on appliances there.
Yeah, right.
So that's one of the things you look at. But that's the thing you want when it comes to those repairs. That property manager going in and fixing it right away. That's the first thing. It doesn't matter how it got broke. Get it fixed.
Get it fixed. Deal with it later.
Yes. Afterwards, was this a maintenance issue or was this a tenant damage issue? Mm-hmm. They need to figure that out and determine that to see, are we charging the tenant or is this a maintenance issue? And that should have been maintained. All right. I knew the refrigerator was older. I knew it was going out. Mm-hmm. It was a maintenance issue and we took care of it. And, and besides, I never liked the refrigerator anyways. So it was a side-by-side. I can't stand side-by-sides.
I don't like side-by-sides either.
Yeah, so we got a nice old school fridge in there. Still went with the ice maker because she's like, I do use the ice maker. I'm like, all right, because it was an extra like $25 for the ice maker.
Right.
I mean, so you want to be cost sound, but don't be cheap.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Sure.
So
Sure.
So that's the biggest thing, is how they're evaluating the property and the damage. So
That's I mean, that's incredible, and that's great information for any of you guys out there that are listening that are thinking about rentals. That's big, and having rentals my own, I definitely appreciate that. Maybe wish I would have known one or two of those things before I started.
Yeah.
So you have this one rental. Are you looking to expand? Are you looking to grow your portfolio?
Looking to expand, but the second hurdle that came up was I've been in real estate since 2001. Last year I decided, instead of buying another rental, I decided to buy my own franchise, and we opened Exit Real Estate Specialists instead.
Awesome.
So that property has been put on hold as we grow the real estate. But I'm looking to definitely in the next couple of years to start taking on more rental property, because again, I'm not the landlord. Mm-hmm. Property manager is the landlord.
If you got the right one, yeah.
And I have a great one. Let me tell you,
awesome.
My property manager is awesome. So I'm just the investor. I just got to come up with the money.
Yeah.
So once we get the office up running at all cylinders, which we got a lot of things going on here, then yes, we're going to be looking at buying into more units.
So that the business is taking the time and capital now, but once that's all stabilized, then it's time to start building the portfolios.
Well, and here's the thing. One thing to keep in mind too, especially if you're younger, you're Gen Z and you're listening to this is when the house hacking is going to come into play. Mm-hmm. The reason I was able to open this office was because of the rental. Because I wanted to make sure we had cash flow. So I went to a bank and I found a bank. Now, it's very hard to find this. All right. You got to look mostly smaller mom and pop banks, your local banks. You're not going to get it on your national chains.
Credit unions, maybe.
Credit union might do it also. But I was able to get a line of equity against the rental property. Nice. So we have a line of credit for the office against the rental property, because that was a request from my wife. She's like, I would rather not do the line of credit against our personal property. I'd rather do it against the rental property. And I said, it will cost us more at a higher rate. And she goes, I don't care. I'd rather not put my personal house at risk.
Sure.
Which makes complete sense.
Of course. Yeah.
So, another reason to have rental property and have assets is because when you have an opportunity that comes in front of you, like I did to open this franchise. You have
something to leverage.
Yeah, you've got assets to leverage.
Yeah.
So
that's a great point, man. That really is. I mean, that's like you said, it's a great way to be able to move the needle forward. Having those assets. Now let's talk about what we our theme of our show is the whole house hack thing, right? And I've heard about it. I know it's been a while, but to folks that don't know, what is a house hack? Why is it beneficial? And how can it help people get into real estate quicker?
So when I was looking for my property to start with, all right, I was looking for a place to sleep, a bedroom, and a garage, because I had $50,000 in DJ gear.
Wow.
I had about 3 systems. I had, if anybody knows anything about sound, I had 6 18-inch subwoofers. I had 4 12-inch tops and 2 18-inch tops, and all the amplification to go with it.
Nice.
I mean, we had...
You had to get up.
I had to get up.
You had to get up.
So I had this all in a rental unit. And I was going in and out, and it was in a storage unit. I was paying like $100 a month. Mm-hmm. And my thought process was, well, I'll get my own place with a garage and I'll save that money, which was great. What I should have done is house hacked. I should have left that in the rental unit, not worried about it. Went and bought a 2 to 4 unit via FHA. lived in one of the units, because that's one requirement for FHA. You got to live in the unit, got to move in within 6 months, got to live there for a year.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would have been taking in, ideally you get a 4 unit. That's the ideal.
Right.
And then you're taking in rent on the other 3 units, and you are then living in the 3rd unit, mostly rent free. You know, you should be really close to, you know, with a 4 unit, actually bringing in a small amount of income.
Nice. So that's the hack.
That's the hack, because you can buy it 3.5% down. And then after 12 months, you look to do it again and buy another unit, FHA, 3.5% down.
And then move into that. So you kind of like moving every year.
You keep moving every year, and because you got to move into that next unit.
How does your wife feel about that?
Well, my wife won't do it. This is something, that's why I said, this is when I was young. It
When you were young, right.
Great.
Yeah.
To build that thing, that, you know, assets, and to have that. Because if you do that just 2 or 3 times, you're talking, you got 8 to 12 units. You know, in our market, those buildings are worth $400,000 to $600,000 each, depending on where you're at. So you got instantaneously, you know, probably better than $10,000 a month coming in revenue.
Yeah.
All right, in gross revenue. Two of the things I do recommend, you know, like I said, that first one you might have to manage yourself, but if the numbers are there, get that property manager.
Mm-hmm.
Because then the other 3 people in the building don't realize you own it, because they're always dealing with the property manager. Because otherwise they're knocking on your door at midnight because of this or because of that.
Okay. So you're still doing a property manager for the other 3 units, sans the one you're living in.
I would do a property manager, yeah. And let them be the landlord. Lord, you're the investor. And then the other thing is putting the property into a land trust, or most likely put it into an actual LLC business. That would be the other recommendation, because then you can mask who the ownership name is.
Right.
And again, because if they look online, they won't see that you're the owner of the property.
And they see, hey, Eddie lives right downstairs.
Yeah.
Oh, the owner.
And so then you can turn around and they just think you're another tenant. So as you're walking in and out, and they're like, yeah, the landlord didn't do this the other day, blah, 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 blah. Really? Oh man, this landlord, I don't know about this. And then you can call your property manager up right away going, hey, can we get this fixed?
Mm-hmm.
You know what
that's
I'm saying?
That's an incredible point. Most times or folks I've heard maybe of house hack, you know, they have been that landlord because it saves them the cost. They're able to do the repairs. They're right there. It's like, why do I need to hire someone to come in? But I love the fact of what you're saying has that whole separation, right? You know, just why we put our properties in LLC, do things in land trust, is for that separation and or protection.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It keeps you private. It keeps you being able to do whatever you're doing and living your own life. And again, you don't have to deal with the annoying little things that drive most people out of this business. I mean, we hear it all the time. Oh, I had 20 units at one point, and I just got tired of the phone calls. I'm like, why are you at 20 units?
You should be having a manager anyways.
Yeah, get a property manager. Don't deal with it. Sit back, relax, and, you know, take in the money and look how to reinvest. You should be looking for your next target.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be out there making the plumbing repairs. Making the plumbing repairs is not making you money.
Nope.
Buying the next unit is what's making you money. And that's the thing. And so you do this for 3 or 4 units on this house hacking aspect. And then at some point you go buy your single family house. You go buy maybe it's not your forever house, maybe, you know, but it's going to be your 5 to 10 year house. That's going to have the bells and whistles that you're looking for personally. And, you know, that's going to be the avenue that's going to set you up, because now you're living off of assets.
Right.
So
that is so, I mean, you know, I hope everybody that's listening kind of wrote a lot of that stuff down, because that is some golden nuggets. Tell us a little bit about what your current business is now. I'm sorry, not what your business is now. You mentioned you do like a radio show, I think you said?
I do. It's called Get Real with Eddie. We got a website, getrealwitheddie.com. And it is a local radio show that we do every week on 1340 WJOL, based out of Joliet. And we record this down and put this out onto YouTube and onto podcasts. So you can pick up the YouTube channel or the podcast at getrealwitheddie.com.
Awesome. Is there anything else you want to share? Any tips and I have to ask, Eddie, because of the last name, my family is a Notre Dame fan. Any relation to Daniel Rudy Ruettiger?
We are related. It's like a really distant cousin. I mean, like fourth or fifth cousin, but there is a relation there. And I was talking with one of my aunts the other day. I guess she's got the family tree going, and I want to see it because I want to see the whole spread of the Ruettiger clan, because it'd be just really interesting to see. But there is a relation, yeah.
Okay, yeah, and like I said, I know you. I probably get asked that a lot.
I do. I know his younger brother the best. His younger brother owns a local gym and was really big into weightlifting, and he's got a bunch of weightlifting titles, and does a lot of the high school around here go to him if they're in football or in wrestling, because they also one secret is most of the younger brothers, they're all school teachers, and a lot of them are wrestling coaches.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they're Ruettiger around here is a really big name in the wrestling aspect.
Got it. Okay. Well, once again, I had to ask just because of the whole Notre Dame relation with my family and all that stuff. But I love what you talked about today, and I love the whole house hacking. So if someone wants to get a hold of you, I know you plugged it before, but how is the best way if they want to reach out, maybe to talk about that house hacking? Maybe they're in Illinois and they have a house they want to sell.
Yeah, they can give me a call or a text at 815-823-5478, or they can always check out my website, yourdwellings.com. And again, if they want to go check out and subscribe to the radio show just to get all the stuff, because we're doing a lot of regional and national data, some local data too. But if they want to get that, it's getrealwitheddie.com for the radio show website.
Sweet. And we'll put all that out in the show notes, guys, so you'll be able to see that. But, Eddie, thank you again very, very much for joining us today. I hope everybody, learned some stuff. I know I did. And we'll look forward to seeing you guys on the next show. Cheers.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.